After all this movie went through to finally get released as being owned by Weinstein and then the Weinstein Company going down the toilet, and now someone bought the movie and they're finally releasing it, why is it being called a director's cut? Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to an all-new Talkin Movies. As always, I am your host, the real Geno Reynolds, and today we're going to be talking about the current war director's cut. And yeah, I know, there was probably an original cut that was what was owned by the Weinstein Company, and then they did a new cut after it was bought and everything. I get that, why they're calling it director's cut, but still, they could have just released this called the current war, because from my knowledge, I mean, other than maybe it's some... who knows, at some film festivals or something, they never released this movie, so they could have called it The Current War. What this movie is about, it's about Thomas Edison and George Westinghouse and them, going against each other with their alternating current and direct currents, electricity, and the things they went through to undermine each other and all that. So, okay, I've been waiting for this movie. I enjoyed the first trailer for it, but then I saw the second trailer and I'm like, I wasn't as excited. Let's just put it that way. And after seeing it, while I didn't think this was a horrible movie or anything, I didn't think it was a very good one either. Let me get the good stuff out of the way first. The performances are fine. I think the best parts of the movie are Michael Shannon and Benedict Cumberbatch as Westinghouse and Edison, respectively. I think that both of them are just given room to be the good actors that they are, and just so they're definitely the strong points of the movie. They're making a big deal about Tom Holland being in this movie because, of course, he's Spider-Man. He's in it, and he is he's definitely a supporting player. He isn't giving a ton to do in this movie. He does have one critical scene, like real critical scene, near the end, when it comes to the bids for the World's Fair. He is the rep for Edison's company, which at the time was partnered with another group and became General Electric. So he is given some to do, but not much. And I would almost say the same for Nicholas Holt's Nikola Tesla as well. Here's the thing. They focus so much on Edison and Westinghouse that at times you almost forget that Tesla's even in this movie. You'll be with Edison and Westinghouse for so long, all of a sudden they'll cut to Tesla, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot that we were following him as well. He's not given a very prominent role. I mean, yeah, they do give him credit where credit is due with the things that he helped to create and created himself, but he isn't given a ton to do in this movie. And like, again, at times you almost forget he's in it. As a movie, while after doing some research, I found that a lot of the stuff that did happen, for the most part, did happen. History versus Hollywood has a nice breakdown of what did happen and what didn't. The stuff that did happen, more often than not, was in the movie. They did say that they couldn't find any evidence of Westinghouse and Edison meeting, yet the movie has them passing by each other in a train near the first, in the same courtroom for another scene, and then finally meeting at the World's Fair in Chicago. But apparently none of that happened. But of course, dramatizations, you kind of expect that. But this movie, the story's fine and it's easy enough to follow, but it's just very, I don't know if all over the place is the way to put it. It's just, I don't know. I just felt like it was going through the motions. Any attempt at like high drama or any anytime it wants to make you feel something, you're not going to feel anything. I guess that's the way to put it. And it's not the performances or anything. It's just, I don't know, the movie just didn't have, I didn't really feel anything watching this movie. You had scenes like Edison's wife dying, and you're just like, it just happens, and you really don't feel anything. You don't feel anything for Edison. You're not with the character enough, other than she's a mom and she's his wife. They don't. They try to make you feel something where it shows. You kind of know that she's sick, and you know when she's going to die, because in the movie, of course, it's when Edison has to go on a trip, and you know she's going to die on the trip, or while he's on the trip, and it shows him, he keeps listening to her voice on one of his inventions, and they try to connect you with that character, and they try to make you feel something, and it just doesn't work. When Tesla gets screwed out of his inventions, you don't feel anything there. When Westinghouse is getting, ran over by Edison, when Edison starts telling him that Westinghouse's current will kill people, you don't feel anything there. There's just no... Again, the movie just felt like it was going through the motions for the most part. And they were good performances. It's just, I wasn't too invested in the story, and it was like, okay, we're getting to point A to point B to point C, and then we got there. And one thing I really didn't like, and you see one of them in the trailer, but it happens, I don't know, 2-3 times. They kind of make winks to the camera. They don't look at you, but they make winks to the camera with kind of some jokes about the future. Again, you saw it in the trailer where nothing will have the name of Tesla on it ever in history, or whatever it is they say. They do that. When they bring out the name of General Electric, it's just, they're almost wink and nods to the audience, and I don't know, it took me out of a time period that I wasn't really that invested in anyway. One thing I was interested in, though, was when they kept flashing back to George Westinghouse's time in the military. They kept having him think to this past moment where a soldier crept up on him and had him at gunpoint, and they finally show the conclusion of that, and it basically just shows just how convincing Westinghouse was, and how smart he was, and how he could outsmart people. And I did like that scene, and Michael Shannon, in my opinion, is the best part of the movie, but I'm biased. I love Michael Shannon. I usually pick him out to be the best part of most movies he's in. So I was invested in that, but all in all, though, there's not much else to say about this movie, but I was just kind of bored. Because the movie, any high drama it tries to tell, any tension it tries to give you, I felt none of it, and that's unfortunate. I really wanted to like this movie. With who was in it and just the first trailer, I wanted them to tell a very compelling story. And while they did tell a lot of what did happen, it just, I don't know, I just wasn't that invested, and that's unfortunate. It's one of those movies that I'm not going to say I hated this movie. I'm not, part of me I kind of wished I wouldn't have made the trip to go see it. I kind of wish I would have waited for video or something. And I would say, if you're going to watch this, it's a rental at best. But I was hoping for more out of this movie. I guess it would be one of those that may or may not make the list of disappointing movies of the year. But I can't really recommend it that highly. I mean, again, the performances are good, but I won't. Other than that, it just felt like it was going through the motions, and that's all really the only credit I can give to it, is that the performances are fine. And again, I do feel like the balance, the character balance, I think you needed more Nikola Tesla in there. I think might have helped a lot, because again, you almost forgot he was in the movie. All in all, not a bad movie, but it's not a great one either. That's going to be all for this edition of Talkin Movies. If you like what you've heard here, please subscribe to the Real Geno YouTube channel, like this video, and if you have anything to say about the current war director's cut, or hey, if you've seen the original, let me know. Please feel free to leave a comment in the section below. Until next time, I'm your host, the Real Geno, Geno Reynolds. See you later.